big win for the Warriors. And, of course, with the 49ers getting ready to play the Raiders on New Year's Eve, we find out Derek Carr will not be participating. Wow, stunning news yesterday on that front.
Yeah, it was weird. I always thought that this was a game that I was like, ooh, a little bit of a trap game possibility. You know, Derek Carr can play a little bit. Is he great? No, but he's certainly capable of making a couple plays, and with the offensive weapons they have and with Max Crosby, the Niners need to watch out. But now, man, if they lose to Jarrett Stidham, they got a problem.
Stidham knows him. Jarrett Stidham very familiar with the 49ers, having played a quarter against them in 2020, Week 7, 39.2 passer rating in that quarter, and he threw an interception. But he was setting them up, clearly.
Yeah.
Setting them up for this game.
For this moment.
They knew
no
New
doubt.
Year's Eve, 2022. Yeah. I don't want to show them what I can do yet.
New Year's Day, for what it's worth.
Oh, pardon me. Thank you. I apologize.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Although I love the idea of like a midnight on New Year's Eve kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
That would be great.
Yeah. The party will begin certainly on New Year's Eve for that game.
Definitely. Yeah, no, I just...
Thank you for the clarification. My apologies.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I thought that the Derek Carr era would end differently. Maybe not necessarily with it, but I thought he would at least play out this contract. Like, I know they built the out into it, but I went into this season thinking, okay, Josh McDaniels, he might not be a great head coach, but at least design a good offense. And they had Devontae Adams, and that rapport will help Derek Carr kind of put together a really good season, and they'll move forward with him. And then maybe in a couple years, if they haven't won a Super Bowl, then they'll move on. But the fact that they are still in postseason contention, technically, and they're moving on from their quarterback, and he's leaving the building like he's just done, that is... I don't think I've ever seen that. Like, usually teams, as long as they're in playoff contention, unless their quarterback is so bad that it's like Taylor Heineke or Carson Wentz, like they were just having such a hard time holding on to the football and producing points. Like, the Raiders' offense isn't that terrible.
You owe that to your fans on some level. You're paying customers to, we don't have much of a chance, but we have a chance. So we have to put our best foot forward.
Yeah, it's like Kyle Shanahan when the Niners were 3-5 last year. He was like, we're going to play who we think is the best player until we're out. Mathematically eliminated. That's why Trey Lance is going to stay on the bench as long as Jimmy Garoppolo is healthy. And sure enough, they turned it around and they go 10-7 and they go to the NFC title game. And if they went from Derek Carr to another quarterback kind of that ilk. Like I said, I brought up Wentz and Heineke. Neither of them are good, but they're kind of on the same level. Derek Carr to Jarrett Stidham, who's never started a game, you're punting on your season. That's
perhaps what they would say. The company line would be, well, he is of that caliber. You just don't know it yet. You'll be surprised. He gives us a better chance to win. I don't know. You know what seems wrong to me? This has more to do with the way football has changed over the years than anything. But as somebody who, like most people listening, can remember the Oakland Raiders, and some of us can remember them going way back, it seems wrong to me that Derek Carr holds virtually every passing record in Raider franchise history. Again, I know it's because of the year he played in, and he's played there for a long time, but that doesn't seem right.
Yeah. Despite the eras,
it's
like they've had so many good Stabler and Plunkett, LaMonica,
right,
Rich Gannon, and it's
yes,
Derek Carr.
Yeah, oh well, he signed a 3-year, $121.5 million contract extension in the spring. But, and I know some of these numbers, you get an ice cream headache, but they certainly are relevant today. He could be cut for a $5.6 million salary cap hit if the move is made within 3 days of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, February 15th. And I think they're just setting that up now. In fact, they might cut him the day their season's over.
This is one of those situations where we saw it with the 49ers to a degree, where they hang on to a guy thinking and say, we love him, hoping maybe we'll get a good trade offer. It's like, you're not going to get, no one's going to trade for the guy when they know that he's going to be available, that you're going to have to cut him.
Yeah. I don't, especially at this point of the year, it's just a weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. The timing is, I don't know what they're doing.
I think
Why
we do.
now?
And we agreed. I think you said it. I said it. I think we do know. And this is clearly not our fault. Scapegoat.
Yeah, and they're going to get him out the door, and they don't want him to get hurt, where I think he has $7.5 million guaranteed for injury.
Yeah.
So they're just like, yeah, go away.
That's how bad he is. Yeah, we're in the playoff hunt, but we got to get rid of him.
But we want to see what Stiddy's got.
Yes. We inherited him, and so what could we do? We did the best we could with it, but now time to move forward with our guy.
Yeah. I don't love how that's handled.
No. On the text line, Jimmy to the Raiders. I know we've talked about that. What do you make of that, Kyle? I think you think that's more likely than I do. I understand how it makes some sense. I don't think that happens.
I would put them down the list of like possibilities. Like I thought Pittsburgh might be a destination, but I think Pittsburgh believes in Kenny Pickett and they're going to roll with that. You look at Washington. Is Washington going to invest more in a veteran quarterback who may or may not be able to get him over the hump? Like they've done that since they started giving Kirk Cousins franchise tags.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I don't think that's the route they're going to want to go.
Zach Del Rio, I know he's not the head coach there anymore, but he goes to, Riverboat Ron and said, boy, what this guy did for me when I was his head coach with the Raiders.
Oh, Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Oh, I was talking about Jimmy.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Like, I don't know if a team looks at him the way the Rams kind of did at Baker Mayfield. I'm like, yeah, let's get him in the building and see what he can do. Or is it just he's been in the league 10 years, he's not gotten any better, he is who he is, and who he is not going to get you where you want to go. I have no idea what his market's going to be.
Yeah, and I apologize. I switched up guys on you there. But yeah, that's why to me, and I mentioned this earlier, Derek Carr, there was a kind of a sadness when I started coming to terms with, wow, this is the end for him, at least with the Raiders. I'm not a Raider fan. I still harbor a lot of resentment for the franchise that, abandoned the Bay Area. But I felt sadness not because, poor Derek Carr. It's like, wow, that should have gone better.
Yeah.
And ultimately, especially the last few years for Derek Carr, for the Raiders, for Raider fans, we all know a lot of Raider fans, good Raider fans, just so ultimately uninspiring and disappointing.
Yeah, and there's no plan moving forward. It wasn't like they moved off of Derek Carr because they had the number one pick and, here comes Bryce Young or Will Levis or whoever the number one pick is going to be, CJ Stroud, I don't know. But, here comes this young hotshot quarterback. This is the plan. Right now their plan is, okay, get rid of Derek Carr and then we wait. There's no path forward. And that's would be the disappointing part if I'm a Raider fan right now. Not so much that they're moving on from Carr, which I think they probably needed to do, but what do you're punting this season and have a giant question mark at that position going into next year.
What's your guess? Maybe you've heard from some people or seen on social media. I'm curious to know how Raider fans are reacting to this. And I'm sure there's a split. I'm sure some people are like, what? Come on. We want to beat the 49ers. And there's probably some that are saying, it's about freaking time. Let's see what somebody else can do.
So the typical response I've seen from people that I'm familiar with, that I follow and that I talk to, it's like, this is the move they had to make, but now? Like, this is weird. Like, what? McDaniels has got to go too. Like, that's the kind of response I've seen.
Yeah.
But is Mark, I don't want to get super into the weeds on the Raiders here, but Mark Davis has already fired John Gruden, or John Gruden resigned, or however that ultimate, like, whatever language.
He was forced to do that. He clearly didn't want to, but he did.
Right. And then you're going to then fire Josh McDaniels after saying he's the guy. Like, I just don't know if that's the route that organization wants to take. Like, at some point they need stability.